They say the Vatican is the smallest country in the world, but inside its walls are secrets bigger than empires. Hidden chambers where popes have broken down in tears. Underground cities older than Christianity itself. A private archive so vast it could stretch across a small nation, and most of us will never see what's inside. For centuries, these mysteries have been locked away behind stone walls and guarded by tradition. But today, we pulling back the curtain on 5 of the Vatican's most astonishing secrets. And number 1 might just change the way you look at history itself. So buckle up. What you're about to hear has been whispered through centuries, but rarely told in full. Secret number 5, the Room of Tears. Imagine this. The conclave is over. White smoke has curled into the sky. Bells thunder from St. Peter's. Cameras flash, crowds roar, and a new name will echo across the world. But the very first minutes of a new papacy don't begin on that balcony. They begin in a small, quiet chamber just off the Sistine Chapel. It has a poetic name, the Room of Tears. Why that name? Because history says this is where the weight hits. A few moments earlier, a man was a cardinal. Now, he's the Bishop of Rome, the leader of 1.3 billion Catholics, and a head of state. In the Room of Tears, the new pope puts on the papal white. He chooses from 3 sizes of cassocks prepared in advance: small, medium, large, because no one knows who will be elected. There are shoes, the white zacchetto, and the fisherman's ring awaiting engraving. There's a mirror. There's silence. Some popes have reportedly wept here, over the responsibility, the history, the sheer human shock of it all. Others sit in quiet prayer. It's a transitional space, but it's also a secret space. No TV cameras, no microphones, no speeches, just a man and a moment that becomes destiny. When he steps out, the world will see him framed by Bernini's colonnade. But the first time he sees himself as pope is in this hidden room. Think about that every time you watch that balcony. Behind the scenes, a door closed on tears and a door open to history. Secret number 4, the Passetto di Borgo, the Pope's escape route. Now let's move from a small room to a long, secret corridor. If you stand in St. Peter's Square and look toward the Tiber River, somewhere above street level runs an 800-meter stone passageway. It's called the Passetto di Borgo, an elevated corridor connecting the Apostolic Palace to Castel Sant'Angelo, the ancient fortress originally built as Emperor Hadrian's tomb. The Passetto is the Vatican's emergency exit. It's real, it's stone, and it has saved papal lives. In 1527, when mercenary troops stormed Rome in a brutal sack, Pope Clement VII fled through this narrow, dim passage while the Swiss Guard made a last stand in the square below. He reached the fortress and survived. Centuries earlier, Pope Alexander VI is said to have used it as well, slipping through the city above the chaos. Today, most visitors walk right beneath it, never knowing a secret sky bridge is staring down at them, an architectural lifeline hiding in plain sight. Picture the footsteps echoing along the stone, the lamplight flickering against the walls, the roar of danger outside. Power is one thing, escape routes are another. The Vatican had both. Secret number 3, the necropolis under St. Peter's. You've seen the marble and gold of St. Peter's Basilica. You've craned your neck under Michelangelo's dome. But the greatest secret of St. Peter's isn't above ground. It's below. Beneath the basilica lies an ancient Roman necropolis, a city of the dead, with mausoleums, mosaic floors, and painted tombs from the 1st and 2nd centuries. In the 1940s, careful excavations revealed a fascinating world under the high altar, including an area early Christians revered as the burial place of the Apostle Peter. There's graffiti etched in ancient walls, scratched messages of prayer and devotion. One famous inscription is interpreted by many as "Peter is here." Bones were found near a niche traditionally associated with Peter's tomb. After years of study, Pope Paul VI stated in 1968 that they were believed to be those of St. Peter. Many Catholics accept this. Scholars continue to discuss details. Here's what's undeniable. Directly under the main altar is a layered memory, pagan tombs, early Christian devotion, and a line of faith stretching from the 1st century to today's masses. Most tourists never see this. Access is limited. The temperature drops, the air gets older, and your footsteps feel heavier. You're not just walking under a church. You're walking through the roots of a story that shaped the world. If the basilica is the crown, the necropolis is the buried heartbeat. Secret number 2. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly secret. Let's clear something up. The Vatican secret archives weren't called secret because they held forbidden conspiracies. The Latin word secretum means private. In 2019, the name was officially changed to the Vatican Apostolic Archive. But the mystique remains. Imagine more than 50 miles, around 80 kilometers, of shelving. Letters from kings and emperors. Trial documents from Galileo. The plea of Henry VIII seeking an annulment that rewrote English history. Diplomatic cables. Papal decisions. The raw paperwork of centuries. This archive isn't a tourist stop. It's a research labyrinth. Qualified scholars can request access to specific materials, but it's not a free-for-all. Much of it is meticulously cataloged. Some of it waits in darkness for the day it's requested, read, challenged, understood. In recent years, even the archives from the era of Pope Pius XII, wartime years that scholars have debated, were open to researchers. That's the rhythm here. Time passes, then doors open, then history speaks. So why does this place fascinate us? Because inside those stacks are documents that changed lives without the world ever seeing the ink dry. Decisions that moved borders. Ideas that sparked faith, reformed calendars, ended wars, started others. And most of it happened in silence. No press conference. No trending hashtag. Just parchment, wax, signatures, and the long echo of consequence. The Vatican doesn't need to hide ghosts to be mysterious. The paper is mystery enough. Secret number 1. The Tower of the Winds. The Vatican's hidden science. Our number 1 secret isn't a conspiracy. It's a revelation. The Vatican helped fix time itself. Tucked inside the Vatican museums is the Tower of the Winds, a late 16th century chamber with a slit in the ceiling and a meridian line running across the floor. On certain days, at certain hours, a beam of sunlight drops through that slit and hits the line with mathematical precision. Why does that matter? Because in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII reformed the calendar. The old Julian calendar had drifted out of sync with the sun. Easter was sliding off its intended season. Farmers, sailors, and scholars felt the mismatch. Enter astronomy. Enter the Tower of the Winds. The Vatican used careful observation of the sun to align liturgical time with solar time. The result, what we now call the Gregorian calendar, is the one your phone uses right now. Think about the symbolism. In a city famous for faith, a hidden room of science corrected the world's clock. That mix, faith listening to the data, ritual guided by observation, tells a deeper truth about the Vatican than any rumor ever could. Its greatest secret isn't a locked door. It's the quiet harmony of belief and reason working together. So now you know, a room where tears become courage, a sky bridge that saved a papacy, an underground city that anchors a basilica, miles of archives where ink still whispers, and a sunbeam that fixed the calendar on your wall. Which of these 5 secrets surprised you most? And which one should we explore in a full deep dive next? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you found this eye-opening, give the video a like and share it with someone who loves hidden history. See you in the next one.